This is a quick gameplay basics and review of Spirit Island, which is a cooperative settler destruction strategy game for 1 to 4 players. And it actually does work okay with one. It's pretty challenging. I'd say for the most part 2 and up, 2 players and up. So let's take a look at this. I'm not going to go over every detail, but I'm going to go over some of the basics. So every person's going to have a spirit. Oh, and I should add, it's a fairly complex game, although the mechanics themselves, I think, after playing it once, are pretty straightforward. There is a fair amount of bookkeeping that I think they could have simplified some, but we won't go into that here. So everyone's going to have a spirit. You're going to have a bunch of markers covering up your strength, and this is like the numbers that are shown are what you get each turn. So you get like an energy per turn and a card plays. So you get, in this case, 2 energy per turn and 1 card plays. Every turn you're going to pick a growth action. So you can choose from one of these actions. Some spirits have other growth actions or whatever. And you're going to do certain things. Like this one's you get all your cards back and you add a presence at range 2 from existing presence. This is gain a power card. So you get to add a new power or add a presence at range 1 and gain 2 energy. So, and each spirit is going to have their strengths and weaknesses. So we'll talk about that in a minute. On the game board, you have the Dahin, which are the people you're helping, who are the natives to the island. You have the settlers, who are invading, European settlers typically, but I think there's additional scenarios. You have towns, or cities, towns, and explorers. And this is 3, 2, and 1 hit point. You also have your presence or any other presence on the board, and for like a 2-player game, you'll have 2 of these tiles, 3, you'll have 3, and so forth. So the game gets a little bit bigger. You can also have Blight on the board. So wherever there's Blight, that means the land's been damaged. And so you have to, there's ways to lose, which is like losing all your presence or running out of Blight, or sometimes scenario loss conditions, which are different, which I'm not going to go into. So let's talk about what the gameplay will be on a typical turn. So say, you pick this one, which means you'll add a presence at range of 1. So maybe I want to put it here, and then I'll gain 2 additional energy, which you'll get from these tokens. I'm not going to put them out, but you'll gain 2 additional energy. Then now, because I took it off here, I actually get 3 energy this turn. So I add 3 energy. And I'm going to look through the cards in my hand. So basically, my hand is going to be cards that I haven't discarded yet. Your hand, it's kind of like Concordia, where you'll have a hand of cards, and every card you play goes in the discard pile, and you have to use a reclaim action, or some spirits are able to get an action back each turn. You also have to limit your cards to the maximum card play. So I could play 1 card, and I could choose from these for which ones I could spend. So I know I have 5 energy, right? So I could pay for any one of these cards. One of them is like remove a Blight and defend 4. This guy's like a defense guy. This one does 2 damage, and you get +3 damage and 2 fear. So there's a few ways to win the game. One is get rid of everyone on the island. Throughout the game, you're going to get fear, which is basically you're scaring the settlers away, and that's really important because you get fear cards, which help you out, and then the fear also makes it easier to win. Like the first time you have to eliminate all settlers, then you have to eliminate all cities. And then, I think it's, let me see what it is. I think it's eliminate, all city, have no cities left on the board. And then it's, no, I think it's no cities. Let me see here. It's like, where are those cards? I don't have it right here, but basically it makes it easier to win. As you go through the game, you'll slowly get stronger and stronger, or you'll get stronger, and you'll also be, it'll become a little bit easier to win each round. Well, hopefully I didn't lose those. So the, here they are. So basically this one is at Terra level. So Terra level 2, you have to have no towns and no cities. And then finally, if you get to Terra level 3, no towns. And if you get to the 4th Terra level, you just instantly win. So fear is the main way you're going to be driving to win. But while that's happening, you still have to keep the settlers in check. And you do that by attacking and defending and helping the Dahin, depending on which hero it is. So let's talk about the really cool aspects of the game. I think the coolest thing is that every spirit is different. So, and they're going to be drastically different. Like this guy is good at defending. There's others that I'll just throw one out here that like it's the ocean. So it works off the ocean. It has to have ocean nearby to really make its powers. The other cool thing is you all have special abilities. So each of these cards has different like spirit resources or whatever. And if you play cards in this round that have this combination of resources, you get to do this bonus thing, which really helps you in the play. The other thing I like is that it's cooperative, but it's not a game where you're going to be sitting there telling other people what to do. I think it's very hard to do that in this game because there's a lot going on. There's a lot of choices, and it makes like, you know, you're going to have your hand of starting with 4 cards, but soon you're going to have like 6 or 7 or whatever. And, you know, you have to decide kind of what you're doing, and you're going to have all your stuff spread on the board. So you're going to be in a unique position to understand what the best thing for your spirit is and how to combo it. And there's, you know, there's colors that you have to match up. So there's a lot of things going on. So it's very hard for like one player to dictate to the other players in a cooperative sense on what to do, which I really like. The other thing is that you get to grow your spirit, and you get to grow it the way you like. So, you know, instead of taking this, I could have taken off from, I guess I can't get there, but if I got, you know, a couple more presents off, I could get more card plays. And the other thing is I can gain new powers. So you can get major or minor powers, and when you add these new powers, they'll go into your hand, so you can start using them. So like, you know, you'll essentially draw 4 cards off the top, and you'll pick one of the 4 to keep. And so you could get this one, which is like you gather guys, or let's see if I can, there you go. You can gather guys. And the final thing I like is I really like the artwork on it and the theme. I think it's a very unique theme, very cool artwork. And I think the production quality is pretty good. Maybe the Explorers could have been better, and the Dahin with the crappy things could have been done better. But outside of that, I think the production quality is good. Now for the negatives, I think the game does get a little repetitive. So, you know, the mechanics don't change that much, even with the scenarios and stuff. There's only a small change in the mechanics. It definitely gets harder, and the game is challenging, and you definitely feel like you're losing the game really badly when you start out. So like, you'll because you're pretty weak as a spirit, like you've been awoken or something, and then you know, the settlers are just gonna be taking over. Like they'll be adding like guys everywhere. All these guys will be coming out, and they'll be building stuff, and it can feel like you're running a losing battle. But you know, you get stronger, and then you're able to take them on. But it's the same formula for each scenario, and I feel like, you know, once you play it a few times, you're gonna know, you know, kind of what you want to do, and the only unique thing is playing a new spirit then, which, you know, there are a lot of spirits in here, but I think eventually that would get old. The other thing I can say is that the box they put this in is a little bit too small for the game. They have this really nice insert, but it doesn't all fit in the box. And I think that's like a production issue or whatever, but they should have really put it in a way that they could, you know, fit it all inside the box. So let me just say I highly recommend Spirit Island for people that like cooperative games, or that have people in the group that like cooperative games. I think I rate it 9.5 out of 10, which is one of my top games. May drop over time as we play it some more, but I think it's a really good game. The people that I don't think would like it are people that like, you know, like maybe war games or real competitive games, and they just don't latch on to the cooperative nature. So thank you for listening to this review. Check out the rest of my videos on the channel, and please subscribe if you like this. It really helps with making new videos, new 3D printing videos, and leave a comment if you have any questions. Again, this is Spirit Island, quick gameplay overview and review, the cooperative settler destruction strategy game.